Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Brendan Ecker Influence, where I teach you how to succeed, accomplish your dreams, and develop multiple income streams. Today we're talking about the world, but how it ties into business and why you need to have a business in 2025. So on this episode today, I really wanted to talk about what's going on and what is coming in 2025. What can we expect in 2025 and beyond for the future of America, for the future of business? And I think that's an important conversation we should have. And I thought it was important to take some time out of my day to make this episode and just chat with you a little bit about that, share some of my ideas and what I see coming as an investor, as an entrepreneur, as a police officer, all these things, former NCAA student athlete. This is what I do. I like to analyze the world and see where we're going. And again, I like to study success, what makes human beings successful, and how we can best get there based on the current times. And with the current times, it is very unpredictable. But if we talk about what's happening, then we can come to a consensus on what we do about it next. So let's dive happening in the West. In the United States of America, where I live, you are seeing complete craziness. You're probably seeing it where you live too. You're probably seeing the effects of the global economy tanking. Why? Well, a lot of that has to do with the currencies. So the United States dollar, the petrodollar, has been in charge of the global, the most powerful currency essentially for pretty much ever, since 1971 at least, especially when we took the dollar off the gold standard. So we didn't have a standard in America, and everybody was just basically using this paper money that has no value. And so because of that, now we're in a situation where we have high inflation rates and you can't even afford a house. And now if you're a young kid trying to get your own place with your girlfriend or whatever your situation is, it's hard for that to happen. And the reason is because we have high inflation rates today, 13% or more, 13% or higher. And then we also have Jerome Powell at the Federal Reserve saying, oh, we're not allowed to own Bitcoin. We talked about that in the last episode.
Do you see any value or benefits in the U.S. government building a reserve of Bitcoin?
We're not allowed to own Bitcoin. The Federal Reserve Act says what we can own, and we're not looking for a law change. That's the kind of thing for Congress to consider, but we are not looking for a law change at the Fed.
And it's insane to me because we have these politicians and bureaucrats and aristocrats essentially deciding, and lobbyists deciding whether or not you can be successful, whether or not you and I can be wealthy, prosperous, and whatnot. Okay, and I like to describe myself as an entrepreneur and investor, and so I think that's an important thing. What's up with that? We need the Federal Reserve to back down and get with the times and stop forcing the world, stop taxing people into oblivion when there's no more money left in the system. The dollar's worth zero. The dollar's worth nothing, and we still use it every single day because we think it has value. But again, like we talked about in the last episode, The Wolf of Wall Street, we talked about this. Matthew McConaughey's character explains how money is just made up. The value of it is made up out of thin air. It's just fugazi. It isn't fucking real, is what he quoted. And it's true. It's true. Money isn't real. You've been lied to and scammed. I don't know, how much money did you pay on college? How much money are you still paying every single month in college debt? Because I promise you right now, even if you didn't know it, you got scammed, and you're still paying that off, and you're going to be paying that off for however long. And it's okay. It's not okay. I'm saying I too was a victim of the college scam. But my point is to have an open mind. So in a world where everything's changing, right? Like Mark Zuckerberg said, you need to be comfortable taking risks and taking on new challenges, new ideas, new goals. Because if you don't do that, then you're going to be stagnant. You're going to be left in the past. You're going to be basically left behind. And that's what's happening to a lot of people. Right now, if you pay attention to the global economy, anybody who's not with AI, anybody who doesn't have any kind of investment in Bitcoin, XRP, if you don't have any kind of investment in HBAR, Algorand, Cardano, Stellar Lumens, all of these great coins, right? Then you will probably be left behind because everything's going to be used with cryptocurrency very soon here. And I made a couple shorts about this. I've been more vocal on Gold Shark Media on Twitter about it. The truth is that crypto's coming whether you like it or not. I had a conversation with my mom the other day, and she said, I told my mother, I said, you're going to be buying your gasoline one day with a cryptocurrency card. It's going to be a Visa card, but it's just going to have the option to use digital currency. and you're going to get points in cryptocurrency. It'll be things like that, right? It's going to be super innovative, industrial revolution type stuff. This is what we're heading into. This is the technology of XRP Ripple, and this is why it's better than Bitcoin. I made a short about this too, and because it is. Unfortunately, you know, I am not a Bitcoin maxi. I'm not a XRP maxi. I am a pro-future maxi. That's true. I'm not a Bitcoin maxi. I'm not an XRP maxi. I'm a maxi for the future. I'm a success maxi. Okay, that's what I'm about. I'm about prosperity. I'm a prosperity maxi. That's kind of a mouthful, but yeah, you get the point. The idea of digital assets is that you can make far more of a yield, a far higher yield, and a far higher ROI by investing $200 in something that's only 30 cents, like super early to the game, by the way. You're still early. There's still legislation to be made, and all of these assets are just going to go up in value. Again, XRP, Bitcoin, XLM, Cardano / ADA. What am I missing here? XDC will probably go up. It's technology. It's fintech. What else? Oh, Ethereum, Chainlink. XRP just made a deal with Chainlink. They just made a partnership with Chainlink or something like that. So you're seeing a lot of big things happening with crypto, right? And I think Bitcoin will always be a store of value. It'll be very similar to the Dow Jones. It's going to be kind of like all the money, all the biggest corporations, companies, and all of the biggest investors, the whales. That's where they go. Okay? You use the altcoins. You get rich off altcoins. And obviously, you should, if you have no money, right? If you know nothing about crypto, then the world's going to tell you, oh yeah, you need to go and buy some Bitcoin. That's stupid. If you don't already have a good chunk of change to put into Bitcoin, you should put that into XRP. You should you'd be a fool right now to invest in Bitcoin when XRP is about to go up. When all these assets are cheaper is the point. You're buying low, you sell high. That's the whole point of investing. You buy low, you sell high. And everybody wants to buy Bitcoin at $105,000, and soon it's going to be going up to $250,000. And so 2025 is the year of crypto. It's the year of the financial reset, okay? And despite all of the madness happening, even the fact that we've never been closer to a nuclear war, we've never been closer to World War III. We've never been closer to nuclear war with Russia, even since the Cold War. But with all of this madness happening, we also have pro-free speech platforms like X, where Elon Musk is helping people promote their ideas and able to speak freely. Yes, there has been a recent controversy with Elon Musk suspending the monetization of the Groyper accounts, which was essentially a string of accounts that were tied to white nationalists, as that's how Elon described them in a lot of the Twitter sphere. But you know, I've studied kind of a lot of these white nationalists, and a lot of them were they made some good points. And Nick Fuentes is one of them. I wouldn't consider him in the pre-definitions of what a white nationalist was. I would consider him a nationalist, like a proud patriot, if anything. He respects all people, and he's a Catholic Christian. I don't understand why we need to suspend people's opinions, and I just think it's important that we allow everybody to speak. And you should be able to speak your truth, even if it's wrong, even if it's something that offends people, because bad speech can be countered by better speech. So this is why you always need to have your First Amendment. This is why I do this YouTube channel, because I understand that I have a First Amendment. I can say whatever I want, and you should use that right, or you're going to lose that right, and that's how that is. But anyways, I digress. There's a lot of madness happening in the world. This is why you need to get with the system. The reason for all the madness globally, even if you live in a third world country, if you live in America, if you live in England right now, which is being completely invaded by the Muslims, this isn't, I'm not speaking against Muslims here, I'm just saying what's happening in the world. That's what's happening. And you're seeing a big invasion. And this is going on across basically all of Europe. It's happening in Germany as well. It's happening in Ireland. And it's happening in Poland, and you're seeing a lot of these European countries fight back. And so a lot of this stems from Israel and retaliation over hundreds of years, and it's a very complicated thing. You'd have to go on my X profile, and you could kind of read through my X profile, and you could see my stuff. You can see all of the content that I repost. You can kind of get an idea and a grasp on what's going on in the world. I just want everybody to know I respect all human beings. I respect successful people. I respect people who work hard. I respect people who want to build the future. I respect people who want to have a family and their little chunk of land to have a simple life. You know, I don't care what, to me, I don't care what skin color you are. I don't care what race you are. I care that you're an American. I care that you want to do good things in this country. I do prefer that you are a Christian or a Catholic, but, you know, America is a land of immigrants, and we came here as immigrants. Again, I'm Scottish, Irish, British / English, Norwegian, Swedish, and then German a lot too. I'm very, very German. So there's a lot of good things happening when it comes to crypto as well. You have Donald Trump, who essentially is allowing basically tax-free crypto now. You also have Elon Musk, who's been essentially fighting for more free speech. He's been really just a maverick. And then you also have Andrew Tate, who is now running for the Prime Minister of England, which is amazing. And I think he'd be a great one. I think, by the way, England needs good leadership, and I think Andrew Tate would do a very fine job leading men into a future of re-radicalization, refinement of the Saxon pride. And I think that's important. Tate's family is a very powerful family, and they were a very successful family. His father was very successful. So anyways, I've been a fan of Andrew Tate for a long time. I definitely think it'll be a great thing for Britain. We also had the crazy Cybertruck event, and I just watched the Sean Ryan interview, which didn't fool me. I don't think any of that should be believed. All of us should be asking questions, just like we did in 2020 during COVID-19, where you're asking questions about everything. I never got vaccinated. I never did. And at the time I was in college, and then I was in the police academy during that stretch of time. And it was terrible in the academy. They made us wear masks like we were slaves. It was horrible. It was just absolutely just torture. It was so wrong. And I would have never taken the jab. I would have never taken it, because it just, you can see the science now that a lot of that has proven to be a mutation. Essentially, it's a protein, it's a spike protein. Essentially, COVID was a spike protein. So essentially, we've learned now that the masks never worked. COVID was a spike protein. Had data that this was killing elderly people and obese people, killing them, putting them on ventilators, and then the ventilators were killing people. So we already have proof of all this. Gain of function research, Dr. Fauci's emails. Everybody knows the truth about COVID. Everybody knows it was completely a depopulation operation, and the entire thing was meant to distract the masses, test our obedience as a civilization, and whether or not we would actually fight back, whether or not we would accept the narrative that the media was spitting at us, and nobody did. And that's good, but now they're talking about bird flu, right? So there's always a new crisis they're going to throw at you to distract you from what's actually important. And so right now, what I think is important, and what you should always try to do, is follow the money. And so what I mean by that is, like, you look at what's happening with crypto. You see the banks banks are defaulting on their own loans. Banks are defaulting. Banks aren't able to pay anybody because there's no more money. There's no more money. We're just in debt. Money is a debt anyways in general, by the way. It's debt. So every single time you're paying taxes to the IRS and the government, those taxes go where? Well, it doesn't go to fixing your roads for sure. It's definitely not going to go to fixing your border and closing down illegal immigration. No. Your tax dollars are going to go to finance more war in the Middle East. Your tax dollars are going to be financed so you can finance more wars in Russia, more wars in England, more wars everywhere around the world. But particularly, it's all about keeping a war going in the Middle East specifically. And it's not for the oil. It's not for that. It's to just keep the Muslims and the Christians fighting against each other in order to distract the world from Israel and in order to expand greater Israel. And that's really what this is all about. We can all pretend that that's not the agenda, but that it is. That's what's going on. You know, we are financing the expansion of greater Israel. And you're seeing this happen. You're probably going to see a successful conquest, essentially, of the Middle East and that area of greater Israel. I think we're going to see that happen. And we will see that come into fruition. That appears to be the trajectory of things. Our Congress and our Speaker of the House is very pro-Israel, and that's okay. By the way, I'm not saying anybody should be anti-Israel. I'm just pointing things out that are happening, and I think people should pay attention to them because it's interesting developments, and it's interesting to see the behavior of our own American House of Representatives defending Israel and all of these different wars on Gaza, Lebanon, Syria, all of these different wars, different countries that I haven't even mentioned. Ukraine, you could probably put in there now that we know more information. Russia, there's so much going on, and they're just trying to drive you insane with all of the madness. They want you disoriented, they want you confused, so that way they can impose more restrictions on you, and you'll be too shocked and in awe. You'll be too shocked and in awe to respond to anything. You'll be just like, I guess I'll just let it happen, and you'll just let it happen. Because this is all psychology. We're in a psychological warfare operation, and that's what's going on. And we can be fake about that, or we can be honest about that, because that is what's happening. There's literally an operation happening with the United States Army where they are using social media and targeting certain demographics of people and psychographics of people in order to bend the will of the world to their agenda. And who is they? I would say the military-industrial complex versus a lot of the different lobbyism groups. And so we have a bunch of different groups going against each other in terms of lobbyism, and then also in terms of when you're looking at lawfare and different law centers, when you're looking at the ADL, when you're looking at you look at the Southern Poverty Law Center, you look at the ADL, you look at places like these, you look at APAC, you could see where things are going. You could see that America is being controlled and dominated. And we always have been, I guess. Myself included, and a lot of us just didn't really realize how much control we were under, and how much really Israel does own the United States. But again, Israel is a great ally to have. Israel's a great military force. I've given this a lot of thought. They're a great military force. They have great ability they basically have a lot of power over a lot of the AI today, and a lot of the systems that we're using right now. A lot of the technology that you buy comes from Israel. A lot of the websites that you're building are on Israeli softwares. And so I guess, there's an element to where we have to just accept this until we can figure out a way to combat it. But I guess at the end of the day, what we need as a country is to be successful again and prosperous again and Christian and Catholic again. And I think that's important to fight for that, so that way we can have a good future financially, economically, spiritually, all of these things. And these things are just very important. So what are you going to see in 2025? What's the future hold? So I honestly believe coming into the future, we're going to see a lot of more shock and awe kind of stuff. And I think with geopolitical tension, we're going to see more drone warfare. We're going to see more drone operations. We're going to see more UFO disclosure, which has been happening, as you can see on the Twitter X platforms. On Instagram, they're talking about it a little bit. But we're going through UFO disclosure now, extraterrestrial disclosure, supposedly, right? Because at the end of the day, the government is always going to try to shock you with more stuff so they can basically control you. And that's what you always have to be thinking. Like, what's the real agenda? What's the real angle? How should I think? How should I incorporate this into my business? And so we can profit as much as possible while also maintaining our ethical values as a company and corporation. And so I think that's very important. And at least I think about that as a CEO. Gold Shark Media. I want Gold Shark Media to be a platform where people can feel comfortable of any race, color, creed, where we do unite and bring entrepreneurs together to create amazing companies, amazing, successful brands. And that's the whole agenda, is to help big businesses find more big business, get more leads, more deal flow. And that's kind of what we do. So if you do want to work with a business, click the link in the description below, www.goldsharkmedia.com. We get you lead generation, social media marketing. We have plans, packages right there on the homepage of the website. You can see everything. If you're more interested in high-ticket plans where we can accelerate your business a little further through advertising and just kind of an all-in-one package strategy to save you some time and energy as well, time and money as well, then you can also order our high-ticket sales, which is right below the social media marketing plans on our homepage of our website, goldsharkmedia.com. See you there, or you can book a free consultation and we'll chat. So with geopolitical tensions, what's coming in 2025? What does Brendan Ecker predict? Now that you've watched the video this far through, what does Brendan Scott Ecker see happening in the future? It's not like I've been there or anything. But what's happening in the future, it's going to be up to you, really, at the end of the day. But what I see happening is a future of AI. I see AI eventually taking over. AI is going to take over. You're going to see robotics. You're going to see you see your first flying car. You're going to see your first trillionaire in 2025. A lot of big things to happen. Okay, you will see probably continued warfare in the Middle East. I think with cryptocurrency, you're going to see billionaires like you wouldn't believe. The value of money is going to go up. It's going to be more decentralized, more free. However, we're going to be more of a surveillance state. We're probably going to have a central bank digital currency by 2027. And what else can I predict? I think the powers that be are really trying to make sure that our country doesn't succeed. So make sure that you're diversifying your assets. Make sure that you're working hard at your job. Try not to quit your job. I understand how much a job sucks. I understand that staying at a job can be mortifying. It can be depressing. I understand that the grind, you might not be getting paid enough. Whatever your situation is specifically, it doesn't matter. You got to stay at your job. And at least for now, during wild, unpredictable times, if you can keep your job, you should keep it. And on the same level, you need to be starting a business. You need to be finding ways to educate yourself and grow a brand, a personal brand. Learn how to make money online. Everybody's on the internet. Right now, you're on YouTube watching this video, right? Everybody's on the internet. If you really want to make money, you need to learn how to make money through innovation, building websites, building products, whatever it might be, building a social media. I mean, there's literally unlimited ways you can make money today. It's just you got to be really creative. You can create a software if you have the funds. I just highly urge you, if you are watching this, in 2025, you're going to see lots of prosperity and good things happen. There's a good chance that if Trump does stay alive, you will probably see the real estate market and the prices. It will be easier for you to get a house. There will be less interest rates. There'll be more incentives for you to buy a house. Less restrictions on credit scores. All of that stuff is probably going to be wiped out. It's going to be a lot easier for you to develop homes, a lot easier for you to start businesses. It's going to be easier for you to sell your business, to buy businesses. Everything should be more convenient so long as Trump and Elon remain in control, and as long as, I guess, they stay in line with Israel. That's kind of the name of the game here. And in exchange of that, you're going to see probably continued warfare in the Middle East, because this is the deal. The deal for innovation and industrialism in America again, and for us to go to Mars, perhaps. All of these things were only ever going to happen if we allowed Greater Israel to be built. And I figured this out when I actually gave it some thought. And so it's just like, one thing at a time, I guess. But perhaps the goal here, as a human race, should be to work together, get to the next planet, get to the next universe. Let's figure out time travel. Let's figure out how we can master telekinesis. I feel like the truth about the world is like the Matrix. I feel like there's so much, we're supposed to be able to do. There's so much of this. There's so much truth out there that we don't get to enjoy. We can probably fucking fly. We could. I don't know if you can lucid dream. I can lucid dream, but I'm sure there's ways for astral projection to be possible. The CIA has already declassified documents on that. It's called the Gateway Experiment. If you want to fact check me, just research the Gateway Project or the Gateway Experiment, one of the two, and you can see and learn all about the hemosynchronicity or hemisynchronicity. You can learn all about the hemisynchronicity. You'll learn all about the binaural beats and how these different frequencies were used during experiments to study remote viewing and astral projection and things like that. You can dig into that. Tell me what you think about it. But there's a YouTube video. I'll actually just put it in the link in the description below at the end of this video. But anyways, guys, so big things are coming post-inauguration day. 2025 should be a year of success if everything goes correctly. I'm not making predictions. I'm not a financial advisor, so don't make investments based on the things I say. I won't be responsible for any losses. Okay, I'm just telling you my speculative predictions based on what I'm seeing, the way things are going. But you know what? Anything can change all the time. And that's the crazy world we live in, right? We live in a world of psychological warfare today where missiles aren't being used, but it's more social media being used. It's more ideas. It's influencers, right? It's people like me. Uh-oh. Wait. Could I be working for the CIA? I don't want to be owned by the government. I don't want to be owned by my government. And, you know, being a police officer is kind of the limit for me, because I always wanted to be a cop since I was 5, because it was more of a plan. It was a family thing. A lot of family members of mine are police officers, military, and it's just the family I came from. I had a blue bloods kind of family. And so I wanted to carry on those footsteps in some way, even if it was just being a part-time cop. That's what I am now. I'm just a part-time cop, but by choice, because I like enjoying the time I have to do this, right? I like enjoying the time to build my businesses, to invest, to look for great investments, cash flowing businesses, all of this stuff. So I'm just really excited about the future. I think people have a real opportunity to do amazing things, and I'm just couldn't be more proud to be an American. I think we're coming into great times, but it's only if we maintain that loyalty to Jesus Christ and we're able to say the name without humiliation. You got to be able to say the name, because when you do, the world opens up to you. When you do, you're able to conquer all of your fears, all of your goals. Suddenly things start to make sense and clarity enters your mind. So pray to Jesus Christ, ask for forgiveness, and pray for discernment, intelligence, the knowledge, the ability to accomplish your dreams and become everything you were created to become. Allow God and ask God to deliver you from evil and to make you strong like an angel, like a spirit that was sent from heaven himself. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. I really just wanted to talk about the world. I'm going to try to make these videos as much as possible just to talk about things and what's going on. There's so many things happening. This has been I talked about I talked about a month. This has been a month. This is the month of December to January. Not even. It was that time frame. It's pretty crazy to think about that. So there's so much insane things happening in the world. It's how can you not talk about it? How can you not be entertained? How are you not entertained? We live in such an insane world, and we're lucky to be alive. We're here for a reason. So cheers to my fellow entrepreneurs and business owners and cops and just good people who want to make a difference. Invest in crypto, be smart. Make sure that you are definitely getting in on this amazing opportunity, because big things are coming and it could change your life and you could pay for your retirement. So stay prudent, stay powerful, and stay wealthy.